Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
So this weekend, found out that Trevor Moore, the brilliant comedian, he was just on our show not even a month ago, passed away. And we don't know how yet. But man, we were going to be best friends, me and Trevor. I don't know if he used the word genius. I think he is. The wife put out a statement. We're devastated by the loss of my husband, best friend, and father of our son. He was known as a raider and comedian to millions. We never knew what he did for a living. What? No. Okay. He was known as a raider and comedian to millions. And yet to us, he was simply the center of our whole world. We don't know how we'll go on without him, but we're thankful for the memories we do have that will stay with us forever. We appreciate the outpouring of love and support we have received from everyone. This is a tragic and sudden loss, and we ask that you please respect our privacy during this time of grieving. And the manager put out a statement, too, that included it was a sudden and tragic accident. But I don't know what that means.
I have no clue what that means. He was 41 years old.
Yeah.
And you're trying to avoid going through what could an accident be that is not like just making its way into the news in general. And,
right.
And then you got to stop yourself because it's like, now you're just thinking of a person in many different accidents.
He's the creator, of course, of Whitest Kids You Know. I was a huge fan of his solo albums that, of course, you can get on whatever music service you use. On our show, we talked about his OCD. And if he stayed on his pills, he can manage it. But otherwise, he'd have the intrusive thoughts, such as if I don't spin in a circle 3 times or touch a table 10 times, something will happen to, a friend of mine. Do people with OCD, but it kind of is a narcissistic disease, right? But do people with OCD believe other people have OCD, and if they don't do their rituals, it'll harm him?
Ooh, your interpretation of mental health is always fascinating. It's always a question that could be found, but maybe not answered.
Does he believe someone else didn't tap a door handle 3 times? And he's like, I do. If I had to do rituals, I'd be upset if I saw no one else doing rituals. We're just getting in this car. You don't have to touch anything, Bob. Really? We talked to him about God in the afterlife, which is weird.
That is weird.
It's not a regular topic we have.
No, but he had very clear thoughts.
Yeah. And
from a kid. Yeah.
He's like, I hate more the dogma. I don't know if I'm still religious from being a kid, but I easily could be. And then I explained to him the titles of his songs and that's not going to bode well at the pearly gates. But okay, if you can explain yourself, I guess you can explain yourself. Skylar, by the way, whenever the show did come out, he said, this song, Time for Guillotines, seems more relevant than ever. So I'll play that at the end of the show. People, of course, ask me, well, how'd he die? How'd he die? Like, I think OCD isn't fake, and he really did leave a stove on. How'd he die? I don't know. He had to spin around 7 times. He fell off a cliff. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And it's, and then the family says, of course, privacy during this time, please. Well, I'm not going to call the house, but I do keep refreshing Google. Yeah, but now do we know?
You can't. That can go on for days. Could it be?
He was so clever. There was a song he had called Tom Hanks is an Asshole.
Yes.
And of course you get it right away because it was the nicest person in the world, right? Tom Hanks. So he gives these little stories about Tom Hanks. And then, but behind it is techno music. Almost, brainwashing you for whatever reason that Tom Hanks really is indeed an asshole. And here's the 3 quick stories. In 1994, Tom Hanks once pretended to be a mentally handicapped person for 6 straight weeks. He even filmed it and then submitted it to the Academy Awards. Then, after he won an Oscar, he called the Down syndrome actor who played Corky on the TV show Life Goes On and said, "Now who's retarded?" Then he said, "You are," and he hung up on him. Tom Hanks is an asshole. Tom Hanks' manager sent him a script for a movie about a lawyer who got fired from his prestigious law firm in Philadelphia because they found out he had AIDS. Tom Hanks read the script over the weekend and called his manager first thing Monday morning, telling them that he'd do the film. because it was the funniest thing he'd ever read. Tom Hanks is an asshole. In 2005, an intern of one of Tom Hanks' agents made fun of him at a Hollywood party. Tom Hanks found out and threatened to leave the agency and go somewhere else. The intern was fired, and his agents begged Tom to stay. Tom said it wasn't enough, and he didn't feel he could trust them anymore. His agents pleaded with him, asking them what can they do to prove they were still loyal. He said, kill Heath Ledger. Tom Hanks is an asshole. Oh, I was in love with Trevor. God damn it. What a fucking bummer. And I remember, if you look on YouTube and you see this video, it's got flashing lights, hot chicks dancing, so that you're really paying attention. You see in the comments, what a world we live in. You know what? Maybe good for Trevor, because what a fucking world we live in. That we're all called people, but you read these comments, and I need proof on some of these. Some of these. There's 3, and you only need proof on some of them. Was it the Heath Ledger murder, the R word for Corky, or Philadelphia he thought was hilarious? You need proof on some of these. Some of these are egregious and can just be hearsay. You wrote that and then took care of the kids. If these are true, one says, then he's gotten away with it for far too long. Yes, he has.
See, I admire, and you do this also, whatever it takes to put that out there where it's so ridiculous that we all know this is fake, right?
Right.
But at the same time, we all know that there will always be a good portion of the population that will absolutely not know it's fake. Places like The Onion, Stephen Colbert, that could be like big time misunderstood, right? Where people are like, yep, I said that.
You should hear what they're saying about Tom Hanks. I'm like, Mom, God damn it. It's a song. I saw somebody wrote on my first album, Coming of Age. I have the track online. I think I have the whole album, but The Passion of the Christ is a track on there. I think it's the first one. And I talk about how ridiculous it is that movie Passion of the Christ was like a Tarantino film. Jesus in human form is getting whipped, and 65,000 gallons of blood are coming out with each whipping. And then somebody writes, he was God and he was tough, and this is blasphemy. Fuck you, suck a dick and die. Praise the Lord. Okay.
By the way, not for nothing, we're starting to get negative comments on our YouTube page, and it makes me so happy.
I'm not mad at it necessarily, but it does paint the world in a light that you may not have seen before.
I mean, it shines a light, but also it's hilarious. And also it means we're reaching new people. Welcome, you all. Please feel free to tell me how ugly I look.
Right. He was God. Well, the point was he was a human. That was the point. The point was, as tough as he is, he's a human in that moment, like us, with 1.4 gallons of blood.
Oh, I got to rewatch this movie. I didn't know there was a point.
The point is you just cry.
Yeah. Oh God. I remember we went to the fucking movie theater to see this.
Yeah.
That's when I should have broken up with you. It's so ridiculous. I think if I'm remembering right, the theater was packed.
Yes, it was. Yeah. Because I remember in those jokes, I talk about how everybody's crying at the beatings and how beautiful what he did for us. But then they leave early because they understand how this story's about. There's 10 minutes left, but I get it. Okay. He already went up to heaven, or however that movie ends. And so they start walking away. I'm like, you just cried. You won't wait until the credits? But then they come by me and I don't see it because the place is still dark. I don't see them coming. They bunk my knees and go, excuse me. I'm like, what? Through the tears?
Well, first of all.
And then, by the way, out of all the places God is, you don't think he'd be around his autobiography? Where 3 or more are gathered in my name. There's 300. He sees you going.
First of all, you should know how this ends. And obviously, you're a heathen. If you would have read the Bible, you know the ending to this story, right. And you're making way for your fellow man. Secondly, if you knew this, I really was hoping that I could finish that sentence as I was saying it.
I did notice the word slowed down a little bit.
I know. Yeah.
Okay.
I know. So, and then why are they waiting for the credits? The credit is all to God. There's God.
Right.
I mean, he's representing everybody. I think it's blasphemous to stay for the credits because who are you thanking here?
Maybe they read that in their Christian weekly newspaper. It's like, do not stay for the credits. And they're like, I can tell the credits are coming. I'm out of here. These credits don't say to God.
Maybe they were like, wow, I haven't been to church in a while. And they were rushing to go to church because.
What if at the end, in loving memory of Jesus Christ in human form? Wouldn't that be sweet at the end?
Yeah. Shouldn't they? Don't they have to credit it?
Well, they did.
Like they stole. I mean, who gets the residuals? Oh, I guess like it's open for everybody, right? Like that's a story that somebody wrote.
Well, at the end, they throw in any likeness to real people or fake people is completely coincidental. And you're like, what do these words mean? Okay.
Yeah, but they can't say that no animals or human beings were harmed because the Bible is full of animals and human beings being harmed.
Sorry, you might know about the animals. We kept this movie as authentic as possible. What a world reading those comments. But yeah, Trevor was the best. It's shocking. You can tell how beloved he was. On social media, you just see comics saying, never mind how smart he was, but what a nice guy he was. And I remember reading it and I'm by myself and I'm like, he was, I can tell. Only talked to him for an hour or so, but I'm like, you can tell he's very nice to people.
Yeah, he felt very thought out and like responding with as real an answer with as much kindness as possible. That's it. Like you said, we just met him. Oddly enough, we had him booked on September's silent trailers.
Oh man.
So I think he's going to make it to that. But it's like Keith said, we were going to be best friends. As soon as that episode was over, I was like, how could we book him again? How could we do this again? How could we have him on and share him again? And 41 years old.
Yeah. We don't have his ghost on or something, do we? Like he has a dark sense of humor. Should his ghost be there? Okay. We'll think on it.
Okay.
Probably not. I'm leaning no too.
I don't know that we here at Keith and the Girl have that technology yet.
Okay.
So that kind of takes us out of that conversation to begin with.
Okay. All right. A Russian woman is suing McDonald's because she says a mouth-watering cheeseburger ad caused her to break her fast during Lent.
What a great ad for McDonald's. McDonald's, pay her. This is the number one situation for you. This was so good.
When I go to vote, I get 1 point. When she goes to vote, she gets 1 point. How is this possible? Yes, we bastardize everything, but in a pure world, I wouldn't mind some tests done before you get to vote. Midway through her 40-day period of abstinence from meat, Kasina Ovchenkova, an Orthodox Christian from Omsk, caved and chowed down on a McDonald's burger, she said in the report. She seeks $14 in compensation for, quote, moral damage.
Wait, are you being serious? You read that right? $14?
$14.
Are you being serious?
Yes. It's not about the money.
So for $14, they just bought the best commercial. Like, do they make her sign something for $28 where we can use these words for our advertisement?
Right. I broke Lent for this. Dun, 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 dun.
Well, worth every minute. I'll be in hell.
And you tell people, I guess, right? You're like, yeah, that was me in the paper. I'm suing them because they tempted me to get in my car, drive to a place, wait in line, wait at the second place, pick it up, eat it. Fuckers. That temptation sneaks up on you.
You know what? It's what God wants.
Right.
This is what he gave.
Does she get cheese though? Like, I'm curious what she get. Yeah, cheeseburger. I guess no bacon or what it said. She goes, no bacon. That's not I can't have that.
And by the way, is Lent, everyone's allowed to do what they want. And she picked meat, or in addition to you can't eat meat, you also have to give up something you want.
You can't eat on certain days meat. certain types of Christianity is a meat and dairy.
Yep. Clear as day.
Right.
Very logical and reasonable.
I
Obviously, very good.
right. Yeah. I don't know. I know there's Byzantine Catholic, which I am, Roman Rite Catholic, which most people are. Byzantine were allowed less things. We always had, and
okay.
My mom wasn't really a cook, so she couldn't get creative, and my dad was very lazy, and so it was always peanut butter jelly, Kool-Aid, and sometimes we'd have the tuna in the can.
Ugh. Is that good news for you guys?
Well, wait, you can't have fish. What do we have then? Oh, I guess when there wasn't meat, you can have the fish, but when you didn't have fish, you had the peanut butter.
And for like a whole month, for 40 days.
For 40 days, yeah. Well, for 40 days, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
What happens on... Wait,
the devil gets his due. I don't know. It was just a couple days a week. We're not... 40 days is a long time.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday?
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then Saturday, you can enjoy your life.
What?
I don't know. I know it wasn't every day because even schools didn't know. You don't... I think we had Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think most Catholics had just Friday because in school they made Fridays meatless, and it wasn't even a Catholic school, but they made Fridays meatless.
Oh,
because of Lent.
Okay.
Because we're a God-fearing county,
and you actually are.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So was there a Catholic school or a Christian school in your vicinity, like a private school? Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Catholic church and Catholic school connected to it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But everyone was Christian in your school.
There was a Protestant church, but I think people wore burqas to run into it and not be caught. Because it was understood. I'm just saying it was understood that if you're in that town, you're a Christian.
But Protestants are Christians.
No, Christian means you believe in Jesus Christ. The Protestants believe in Jesus Christ.
You guys are all under the same umbrella. I thought Protestant.
Are we? I don't know. I was just told it was wrong. He's like, do you know where Protestant comes from, son? And I go, no. He goes, to protest Christ. I'm like, oh. No. So that was up there with Satanism when I was a kid.
What?
Yeah.
I thought you were all under the same umbrella.
Maybe we are. I don't know. I was just if it's not what that is, it's not even close. Let me see.
Oh yeah, you're Christian. WASPs are Protestant, right? White Anglo-Saxon Protestant. Yeah, they're Christian. Look at what your father has been preaching to you, and that was your belief your whole life.
Yeah, but if somebody said, yeah, but I so wasn't involved that if someone said they were Protestant, even if I thought, oh, you're going to the wrong church, there wasn't like hate because I'm like, I don't believe it either.
No, I know, but he separated it from this stuff so much, and it's so close to being the same thing.
Right. Correct.
Wow. I didn't know you people fought like so much amongst yourselves.
Oh, yeah.
A member or follower of any of the Western Christian churches that are separate from the Roman Catholic Church and follow the principles of the Reformation, including the baptism, pre-something, and the Lutheran Church.
Well, you can follow the
Presbyterian. I see the Baptist, Presbyterian, and Lutheran churches, and I swear I don't need glasses. Thank you. So yeah, it's just a different form of Christian.
Well.
Whoa.
I'm seeing, speaking of ridiculous people, a lot of COVID deniers dying. It seems left and right. There's a nurse I'm reading, a nurse. She won't take the vaccine, which you've heard about. Her parents didn't take the vaccine. Both the parents are dead.
From COVID?
From COVID. And she's still saying she doesn't know if she trusts the vaccine.
Well, is she allowed to nurse?
I guess so.
I thought so. There's no mandates like that?
I guess there's not.
So I can have a nurse who's not vaccinated.
Yeah. You almost did at CVS or wherever you went. You had one of those jabbers, right?
I love that you pictured me in CVS for this.
Where were you?
Some open space It looked like it could have been one of those like local museum things, just an open space that
Okay.
they converted.
Let's see. This woman's last interaction with her father was a voicemail from the hospital of him moaning and gasping for breath. She said, "It doesn't even sound human. I don't like hearing it, but I can't delete it." Since the parents died, she has felt judgment from friends and acquaintances asking why her parents weren't vaccinated, why she didn't make them. First of all, they would only get the news from you also. That's how the news has this, from you. This wasn't reported news from the hospital. So you're telling people they weren't vaccinated. And then your friend's like, well, why? Okay, you brought it up. Why the fuck wouldn't you? We don't really trust it. She says, we didn't kill them, but some people make us feel like it's our fault they're gone. It is. No one should try to make you feel guilty because someone died. Well, no, I mean, I could take that back. It's their fault they're gone. But
Ooh, but that's
you're dumb.
how fucked up is that though? Like you are in the middle of mourning and people are like, here's what you could have done.
Right.
You know, it's
You can't help it though. It's so frustrating, as if she has friends, but you have to assume she does. Just be like, and you're yelling at her, not necessarily just after the fact. You get it done. And what family members do you have? That's all your family then? We're done now? We're done worrying about you and your family?
oh my goodness.
The brother, David, let's see. Looks like she just goes by her last name, Ms. Parrish. Ms. Parrish's brother, David, who lives near Washington, D.C., has had the opposite reaction. He tried unsuccessfully to push his parents to get vaccinated and is now trying to persuade his relatives. He was put off by friends and acquaintances pushing conspiracy theories about the vaccine, even after his parents' death.
Oof.
I'm absolutely angry and frustrated, he said. Their age and health conditions, they should have gotten vaccinated really early, and then trying to talk to friends of theirs and hearing these ridiculous things about depopulation and computer chips. Yeah, you have the proof of not getting the vaccine. You're in the hospital. You're dying. The proof is there. What's the guess on the other side?
I don't know, but I hate to like extra bum, but doesn't it feel like it's just not going to be over?
It won't be. No. I think we're now. How much time has gone by? We're now at 50% Americans getting vaxxed.
But also we're at peak deaths in certain places here.
I'm not bragging about 50%.
Oh, okay.
That's ridiculous. That's fucking ridiculous.
Right. It's free and available.
And what are we going to do? Convince 7 more people? It's going to be 50% for quite some time. There's a Newsmax host. This is a far right-wing channel. Former Newsmax host and right-wing Florida radio commentator Dick Farrell, who mocked vaccines as scamdemic and called Dr. Anthony Fauci a, quote, lying freak, has died of COVID-19.
I mean, spandemic.
It is clever.
I could see why you want to use that.
He popped out a bit on that one.
Yeah.
He's
the second one, Dr. Fauci, what did he call him?
Dr. Fauci is a lying freak. This freak, he's getting turned on. Show me your mouth. Don't show me your mouth. You make up your mind, you little pervert.
I just feel like he blew his load with scamdemic, and then got to Fauci and was like, stupid idiot.
But then, so if you know about this guy, Dick Farrell, you know that he's saying don't get it, microchips, all this stupidity. In real life, it turns out, we find out after he died, he was telling friends he does recommend it. This is a form of evil. He's on the radio because he worked for a right-wing place. He says what he thinks people want to hear on his channel. And so he's saying, don't get it. Idiots like the nurse are listening to him. Meanwhile, he tells his friends, yeah, that's an act. Get it.
So did he get the shot or not?
He got the shot whenever he didn't get the shot, but when he was sick, he told his friends to get it, but still didn't correct it on the air. COVID took one of my best friends today. This person said he's the reason I took the shot. He texted me and told me to get it. He told me the virus was no joke. I wish I had gotten it. Jesus.
He told me the virus was no joke.
It's no joke. I have it now. It's no joke. So you should get it. Well, should you at least say that on your radio show? No, let's hope it goes away. And I still have credibility. It didn't. I'm dead.
You know, I think I said this early on in the pandemic. If this was more like a lesion on your face, or some sort of like, making you look differently and not as pretty as you'd like, I think more people would be up for it.
Yeah, I only end up looking prettier. I have to wear a mask now. Okay. No problem. Leslie Lawrenson, 58, downplayed the seriousness of her symptoms, equating it to a cold or the flu. Then the symptoms got much worse. It's a he, excuse me. He died just 9 days later after putting out dismissive video. All right, so this is just another example of a guy, Leslie Lawrenson, 58. He kept putting out dismissive videos about the vaccine. He died from COVID. A healthy man who died of COVID after refusing to get the vaccine made a terrible mistake, says the partner, who was on his side at the time. Leslie, 58, died at his home on July 2nd after downplaying his symptoms and declining to go to the hospital. His long-term partner, Amanda, 56, who was severely ill with the virus at the time, said he believed the vaccines were too experimental and put his family at risk. Speaking to BBC Radio 5 Live, she explained that Cambridge University educated Lawrenson decided against the jab after reading material on social media. And again, not embarrassed to put that out there.
So she's still alive?
She's still alive, it seems. Yes. Yeah. His long-term partner was severely ill with the virus at the time, said he believed the vaccines were too experimental and put his family at risk. So it sounds like only he happened to die. She's like, but she knows now he should have got it. Okay. And you're not embarrassed, or do you think, are you like, I really fucked up, I have to be earnest? Like
maybe that's the best case, right?
I guess so. Then I'd be a piece of shit. Because if I was, I was doing this for so long, they go, hey guys, get this. The sky is blue. Oh, okay, idiot. Why am I an idiot? I've learned from my mistakes. You can't respect your parents after that, right? Like, you're a teenager.
What? I don't know what allows people to respect their parents.
Well, this isn't going to help.
A diminishing resource.
All right, let me mention this because I needed better help. In 2021, mental health is finally a thing. So many people are struggling right now. You're not feeling like your normal selves. Your neighbor's telling you the vaccine's bullshit as they're coughing up blood. That's a little weird to deal with on your way to the bus stop, right?
It also feels like every week we're supposed to adjust to some new normal, like, right. Oh, we've been wanting to take off our masks, but now that we're taking off our masks, it feels very nerve-wracking. Why can't we feel good about one of these moves? Like just 100%, I know what I'm doing and I know what's coming to me. It's just not here.
More affordable than in-person therapy. You can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Millions of people are seeing what therapy is all about. So see if it's for you. You are your greatest asset. That's what I say. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and you can get 10% off your first month at BetterHelp, HELP.com/KATG. That's BetterHelp.com/KATG.
Don't do this alone. And do this also with a therapist because there's no consequence in telling this person the things that you might feel reluctant to say. So use that as a sounding board at least, and then see what happens. Just never worry alone.
Yeah. And you could say anything to them. Like, I don't believe in the vaccine. Like, say that.
If that's how you feel.
See what happens. You fucking moron.
They can't arrest you for that.
I think they should, though.
They cannot. See, Keith will not be your therapist.
But they
when you
cannot.
Go to betterhelp.com/KATG.
If I was your therapist and you go, I don't believe in the vaccine, I'd be like, I can't arrest you for that.
That's why you're going to go see professionals.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay, here's some exciting news. If you're an American and the Olympics are over. Number one, the United States of America. Most gold medals. What about silver medals? Most silver medals. Okay,
oh my God.
What about bronze? Most bronze medals.
Wow.
I don't have a calculator. What's the most total medals? The best. We are the champions, but not friends. Nice try, China. Nice try, Japan. Nice try, Great Britain. Nice try. I know it was you, Russia, in the fake nose and glasses. Okay, nice try. Nice try, everybody. Motherfucking best.
How sincere is this? How much do you actually care?
You have to. This is the only joy you get out of life sometimes. You got to pretend to take it for your mental health. Number one in the world. America's not the best. We're back, baby. We're back. This is a fact. Well, what do you mean by quality of life? This is a paper telling you who's the fucking best.
Keith is like,
she's looking at proof positive facts. And Chemda goes,
It's like you are an abused kid and we ask you about your father putting cigarettes out on your arm. And you were like, yeah, but on Sunday, he took us out for ice cream and you don't know him like I know him.
Sunday, we'd have peanut butter jelly, extra jelly, tuna on top, Kool-Aid, any flavor I want, USA. Thank you. Can you imagine your religion's about protesting Christ? I never in my days. Now, you want to be healthy like an Olympian? The company didn't say it, but I do. Try Monk Pack. Monk Pack keto bars. Nut and seed bars they have. Granola bars they have. Healthy snacks have a shit bird reputation, don't they? Let's be honest. Most don't taste good. They don't fill you up. They don't satisfy your cravings. Well, now I'm telling you about Monk Pack. It's a snack that tastes like your favorite sugary treats, but with 1 gram of sugar or less. They contain 1 gram of sugar or less, 2 to 3 grams of net carbs, only 150 calories. I'm talking Monk Pack. I'm talking flavors like sea salt dark chocolate. I'm talking flavors like caramel, sea salt, and peanut butter dark chocolate. You see what I'm saying? Okay.
Really just, take one of these or 2 of these and throw it in your bag, because even if it's not for you, if you're getting hangry and kind of like starting to get that crabby feeling, even if it's not you, if it's somebody that you're with and you are not getting to a place where you could eat for a little while, this is a good idea to hand to someone, and then you can keep talking like adult human beings.
Try it for yourself and you'll see. And we have a special deal for you. Get 20% off your first purchase of any Monk Pack product by visiting munkpack.com. Enter code KATG at checkout. Monk Pack is so confident in their product. Do you know they made such a good product that they went, okay, now we not need to call marketers and figure out a name for the and they're like, no, we're just focusing on the product. But Monk Pack, we're not. I care about the product. I don't care about the name. Okay. Monk Pack is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% satisfaction. They're like, how do we make them not try it? And then when they do, they're like, oh, why'd I wait so long? I'm like, oh, Monk Pack. Okay. All right. Sounds good. If you don't like it for any reason, they'll exchange the product or refund your money, whatever you prefer. They don't care because they know it's a trick. It's a trick. They know you're going to love it. To get started, just go to monkpack.com. That's .com. Select any product. Then enter the code KTG at checkout to save 20% off your purchase. Okay?
Where do they go on?
Where do they go?
Yeah.
Get on your computer. Monk Pack. Delicious, nutritious food you can count on. Okay? And we thank you for sponsoring this podcast. And we thank you for not getting all caught up in marketing and words that matter. Okay? You guys will love Monk Pack. That's what I'm saying.
Monkpack.com.
Yes. It's right there. You do it at checkout, I believe. I believe you ask somebody where the gun is, and you put in KATG. Okay. Big exciting news. Looks like they know who the permanent new host after Alex Trebek died will be of Jeopardy.
Okay.
They had football players. They had one day they used a candy bar. They had the great LeVar Burton. And this is going like on and on where it's like, motherfucker, you know by now. You just want to see these different people. They're going to hire a football player. No offense to Aaron Rodgers, but they're going to hire a football player.
So wait, I didn't know this. There were people
ever since Alex Trebek passed away, they were having different hosts. I think George Stephanopoulos was one, and they'd be like, okay, as if you're trying these people out.
Right.
But then it went on for so long.
If is it like just once or for the week or?
I think it was like for a week, but for months.
Okay.
And where, it's like, they can tell this is an event that people want to see all these different people. They're like, let's just keep doing this forever and act like we're looking for people.
I mean, let's not. Aren't there two people? AC Slater and and the guy who does New Year's. How many more people are there?
But they get kind of busy, I guess.
Oh, all right, good point.
There are only two.
That's true.
Well, the winner happened to be Mike Richards. Mike Richards is the producer of Jeopardy.
What?
He looked high and low in the sports world, news world, the candy aisle. And he said, I figured out who would be the best person for the job. Me, Mike Richards.
Huh. Yeah. I really thought Ophira had a chance here.
It was her week was coming up, and he said, actually, guys, now does he make the phone calls? He's like, hey guys, actually, thank you, LeVar. People love you, Reading Rainbow, etc. Star Trek.
Yes.
Right. But I think looking back, I think I did it better than you. And we appreciate your time and your sweet tweets. Thank you.
I guess he understands the tone the best.
Because but LeVar, if for some reason I don't work out and I'm not pleased with me, I'd be the first one happy to call you. I got a feeling I'm going to do good though. And if it seems it's going bad, it's the landscape, hard to explain. But I got a feeling I'm going to be in it for a while. In fact, I'm giving myself a bonus right now. Excellent. So Keith's douche voice is the same as like the voice that commercials put on for you guys to buy the beer. And I do remember Keith was doing this voiceover thing where he had to record like, hey man, do you know how to blah blah blah? Right. And he was doing it like a regular like, hey man, do you have whatever? Right. And I'm like, and the person recording was a little confused, was just like, he looks like he does this voice like this, but this is coming out of his face. And I was like, okay, I'm going to step in here for just a second. Keith, can you please do your douche voice? And he's like, all right, what can I say to you today? Right. You like beer? You like getting fucked up? Look like a guy that likes to do that. Do it. I do it all the time. I'm the host of Jeopardy. They're like A+. I'm like, all right. Well. 3 visitors to the Tennessee site of the world's largest Titanic museum. What does that have to do with Tennessee? But okay, that was your passion. Have been hospitalized after an iceberg wall collapsed.
Stop it. No. Next story. We shouldn't even talk about this. No. But is the simulation breaking? What's happening?
God's just the funniest. Imagine you died. Now they're just hospitalized. Imagine you died. You get to heaven. He's like, hey, it's you 3. I get it. I get it.
That is not fair.
Tonight, an accident occurred at our Titanic Museum attraction in Pigeon Forge, wrote the company. They're 30 miles outside of Knoxville.
What a weird attraction. As you're reading, like the Titanic attraction.
And of all the places you go, where is that? First of all, it's in America. Okay. Secondly, it's in Tennessee. Okay. Our iceberg wall collapsed and injured 3 guests who were taken to the hospital. At this time, we do not know the extent of their injuries. Our thoughts and prayers are with those who were injured, as well as their family and friends.
They shouldn't have made that ice wall a rock wall.
Did it fall down fast, or do you think it fell down slow? Like you're in the gift shop is what I'm picturing. Just like, or you're looking at it and touching it, and then it just, the whole thing fell?
I think if it fell slow, they would write about it because you would hear more of a response for longer. Like people were running out of the way. You heard screaming of
Big's this
iceberg,
rock
dead
wall.
behind. Like just weird stuff might be happening.
Dead behind. Needless to say, we never would have expected an incident like this to occur. Well, good. As the safety of our guests and crew members are fairly at the
important to
top of our
us.
list. Right.
Oh, isn't that the worst when you're on hold and it's like,
Yeah.
please hold. Your call is important to us. Here's some music. Please hold. Your call is important to us. It's like, wow, I feel important. I bet this is what Obama went through.
Not as important as this chicken sandwich, but we will be right with you. We take our pride in the quality of our maintenance and have measures in place to ensure that appropriate safety guidelines are upheld. It's not immediately clear how it collapsed. The news then says, and we are not interested in following up on this story.
Huh. Oh my God, is this how Trevor Moore died?
The museum says the visitors get to touch a real iceberg and reach their hands into 28-degree water as they learn what it was like on the actual Titanic. Oh, a couple Karens did that. I was totally there, like on the Titanic. I put my hand in 28 degrees water, which you can't find in your own house, apparently. And I'm like, that's cold. That's cold. You're like, it's only 4 degrees less than freezing. That's freezing. That's called freezing. Oh, well. Rest in
How
peace.
often do you think people break out into that song at the museum? Like you think so much that they have to pay royalties?
Oh, like near, far, wherever you are? That one?
Yeah.
They do it. They're
like
doing
as
that.
they put their hand in the iceberg, like they're supposed to feel it, or they, have their arms out. Near, far. Right. Like, I'm on the Titanic. It's romantic.
It was like day 3. They had to put up a sign. Please don't yell, you're king of the world. We're all kings of the world. Okay. The Titanic museum operators are like, worst idea ever fucking had. Of course they would yell, I'm king of the world all the time. God damn it.
There should actually be a king of the world wing so that you can let it out and then come back and realize that this was a tragedy and not just a love story that was fake.
Hey, here's some good news. I'll leave you with this. A paralyzed man who lost his ability to speak. Hold on. Has a device implanted in his brain that can decode his brain waves, and you can tell what he's thinking now. So he can't speak, but a computer can read his words.
You better have the ability to turn that on and off.
Right?
Yep.
Not the guy, but the neurosurgeon, Edward Chang, a neurosurgeon who led the work at the University of California. Of course he did. It was in California, the #1 country in the world.
All right. Oh, boy.
I don't know when it becomes pride and when it becomes racism. To our knowledge, this is the first successful demonstration of direct decoding of full words from the brain activity of someone who is paralyzed and cannot speak.
Amazing, because would they maybe be able to put that on people who are under, what is that called? In a coma.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, are you still there?
Yeah.
Put it on while we're under anesthesia so that if we do wake up, we're like, yeah, I'm still here. Yeah. But then you're listening to all my thoughts while it's happening. Ooh, that could be weird.
Put it on after Kyle goes to the grocery store and puts vegetables in my fridge that she says is really for her later. And I quickly put it and go, though, are you deliberately going to forget it? And I have to eat it. And it responds in like 4 seconds. So I'm going to get the truth.
What do you have in your fridge, Keith?
Just a little shrubbery. In the late 30s, this guy that they're talking about he's anonymous, but who has the transplant, he can communicate, he's in his late 30s, can communicate in senses by translating signals sent from his brain to the vocal tract into text on a computer screen.
Amazing.
The electrode device was implanted over the area of his brain that normally controls the vocal tract. How are you today? Researchers asked the man, whose brain activity was then translated via computer algorithm in real time. I'm very good, was his response. Or it's fake news, and we're just going with whatever the scientist program. I'm doing very well, and you're the best scientist ever. Fuck my wife, please. Like, okay, Bob. Interesting.
There are little tricksters.
Does it hit the subconscious? I would have it on when I dream, and then check it the next day.
Yeah. Like record it constantly. This could be really weird. Like imagine posts on social media. This is what I said. This is what I thought, but it's real.
But how great for arguments. Like when that couple we talked about the other day, the two twins dating two twins, you slap that puppy on them and just ask some questions. You really never looked at my sister like it was me. And it takes 4 seconds for the words to appear. So even though you would think that's slower than real life, it's not. They just stare. You'll have the answer in 4 seconds.
Not exactly. Okay.
I wonder if you think it, is it there? Or do you have to press enter in your brain?
Isn't it reacting to the part of the brain that you would have used to speak, not just to think? So you can still filter.
What if you're a fast talker, but it doesn't seem that way in real life because it's only as fast as you moved your mouth?
You have to adjust.
Right.
Yeah. It's a good idea to adjust.
This is pretty amazing technology, though.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Did you really forget I said get spinach pasta, not regular pasta? And I'm like, yeah, I didn't know what kind of pasta you wanted. And then it just rates bullshit. Kate knows always get the bad pasta.
Keith is using this as like a lie detector.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I don't know that this is what the technology is.
We're getting close then. We're getting closer.
Everything you say is what you think. You still have a filter.
Let's just move it like a little, like 2 centimeters. I bet, scientists work in centimeters. Just move it 2 centimeters.
That you might be right about.
Yeah.
And I see you did your research. So, yeah.
No, come on. You got to rate, like on regular pen and paper, like move it 2 inches. You're in my subconscious and you know it. Oh, was I? I forgot. Really? Should we put this on your subconscious and find out? No, you said that would be evil.
See, and you're not afraid that people might listen to this and completely think that you're a scientist.
I wouldn't mind if people heard this and completely thought that I was for real, that I would love this technology.
And it is used in the way that you described it.
Yes.
Yep. Totally.
I'm going to bring out the helmet.
It's the new elf on a shelf.
Yeah. And then they're like, okay, I knew the whole time what pasta I should have gotten. It's like, I don't even own a helmet, you fucking idiot. You played yourself. Do you know how expensive those helmets are? They read your thought? How would I have one?
Where were you like for the science fair? Was it like... Did you do a volcano?
I got a feeling you got to be invited to that, Is that like AYSO soccer? Is that an everyone plays kind of thing? Because I don't really know about that one. No, what happened actually? We had to do like volcano projects, and my dad didn't want to be lame and do that, vinegar and baking soda bullshit. Because of course people are going to do that. So he talked to the science. The department seems like a big word, but talked to the science teacher and got glycerin and something else. And I mixed those together and it would make a big flame.
Okay.
So he was able to get the ingredients from the science teacher who gave them to he was able to get them from one teacher, give it to my teacher. He would hold it for me. And then at the last minute, the teacher gave me the ingredients. I put it together. The smoke filled the whole school. And poor Laura Shoemaker had to be outside by the window to breathe because there were too many kids in the hallways. So to get her outside, we had to wait until the kids were out of the way. And it was the Malley kid at it again. And that was science. Now, let's see this helmet. I got ideas.
But so many adults signed off on that.
Thank you. And thank you.
I don't think that was your fault.
I appreciate it. And
also, how did your dad just came up with this stuff? He had an idea. Did he ever help you with any other homework?
No.
Like no help with any other homework.
I don't remember that at all. No.
But you were building a volcano, and that's when he decided to step in. He had this volcano idea.
Because it's a chance that there's no way I can ace a math test and then he start taking a bow around my school. But this would be clear an adult did it.
Do you know, and I, if you don't, please ask, do you know if your other siblings got to smoke out the school?
They did not get to smoke at the school. I think I ruined that for the Malleys. I don't know if they have any big projects per se. I remember the volcano, and I remember, the young ages when you had to spelling. And so, my mom would ask me words and I had to spell it. But those are the only two things I remember getting help with.
Can you please ask, excuse me, the rest of the Malley clan if they
Mhm.
ever got help with their homework from your dad?
Okay.
Thank you.
By the way, that date's coming up. It looks like the weekend of the 28th. I'm going to visit the old house and go through it without my dad there.
Oof.
See what I see.
What are you having feelings about that?
No. Just
No.
it might be like, oh shit, the first action figure I ever had. That might be fun to see, but I really don't know what's there anymore.
Was it crass that mine and Xerxes' first reaction was, please videotape as soon as you walk in and all through the house? You may even talk on that video, but we might use it. But don't even worry about if we use it or not. Just kind of like document it for yourself. You will want to know about this.
Right.
Show your children.
And I'm like, I don't know if the siblings would like that. And you're like, okay, new angle, do it for you.
I mean, they don't have to be in the video.
Right.
But you do want to document your home.
Yeah, I'm sure I will. Yeah. We'll see.
Okay.
I'd assume Dad.
And neither here nor there. Follow us on YouTube. We're under Keith and the Girl.
I assume my dad threw everything out that would be interesting, when we were
Your
kids.
dad doesn't necessarily know what interesting things are.
Right. So he's not going to save anything.
Yeah, that actually could be the case. Yeah.
Yes.
But there had to have been, was there a wall where you kept track of how tall you were, or
No. I was surprised people did that. I'm like, that looks like a fun thing to do.
Okay. Was there, this is your section of the room. You shared a room with 3 brothers?
Yeah, we understood. I mean, we're human beings. We understood what taking up part of a shelf was,
Well, maybe you want to take a picture of the shelf and the bed. You used to 4 kids in a room. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, but I don't think that stuff is there on the shelf. But whatever, we'll see.
Yeah. You never complained about that, about sharing a room with 3 other siblings.
It's all you knew. It's just the way it was.
It's so funny.
Little house on the prairie.
Mm-hmm.
Except my dad would tell you he played guitar. We just never ever saw it. Oh, what a piece of shit. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
KeithAndTheGirl.com